Let's get right into it. Number 10. Semantic Satiation. Ever said a word so many times it starts sounding weird? Like suddenly door doesn't sound like a real word anymore? That's semantic satiation, when your brain gets so tired of processing the same word that it temporarily forgets what it means. Scientists discovered this isn't just your brain being weird. It's actually trying to be efficient. Think of it like your phone's battery saver mode. When your brain sees or hears the same thing over and over, it starts using less power to process it. The weird part is, emotional words are harder to break this way. Words like love or hate stick around longer because they're tied to feelings, not just meaning. Try saying your own name 30 times fast. Suddenly your name sounds like some made-up word from a fantasy novel. So next time you're repeating a word and it suddenly sounds like alien language, don't panic. It's just your brain running on power-saving mode. Number 9. Near-miss relief. Picture this. You almost drop your phone but catch it at the last second. Your heart's racing, palms are sweaty, and then suddenly you're laughing like a maniac. That's near-miss relief, when your brain celebrates dodging a bullet by flooding you with feel-good chemicals. It's like your body throwing a tiny party because you didn't die. Scientists found that for every actual accident, there are about 30 near misses that go unreported. That's a lot of people walking around feeling weirdly happy about almost getting hurt. Your body goes through this wild roller coaster in seconds. First, there's the adrenaline surge, your body's emergency broadcast system. Then comes this flood of relief that feels almost inappropriate, like laughing at a funeral. Our ancestors who felt good about surviving close calls were more likely to stay alert and survive the next one. The ones who didn't care probably became someone's dinner. The craziest part is the closer the call, the bigger the relief high. It's like your brain saying, wow, you really messed that up, here's some dopamine. So when you narrowly avoid disaster and find yourself grinning like an idiot, that's not weird. That's your survival instinct giving you a high five. Number 8. The anxiety of happiness. You know that feeling when everything's going perfectly, then your brain suddenly hits the panic button? Like you aced that test, got that promotion, or just had everything go right, and then your mind whispers, wait a minute, this is too good. Your brain, always trying to keep you alive, has this annoying habit of looking for danger even when everything's great. It's like having an internal alarm system that goes, warning, happiness levels too high. Prepare for disaster. Scientists found this comes from our survival instincts. Back in the day, being too relaxed could mean you end up as a lion's lunch. Even successful people get this. Like Mo Gaudat, a former Google executive who had everything going for him, still felt like happiness was a trap. Some cultures even have warnings about being too happy. They believe when life gets too good, something bad must be coming to balance it out. This isn't negativity. It's evolution. Your brain would rather ruin a good day than let you get eaten. Number 7. Solomon's Paradox. Ever notice how you give amazing advice to friends but can't solve your own problems? Like telling your friend, just ask them out. What's the worst that can happen? Then spending 3 weeks overthinking whether your crush liked your Instagram post. That's Solomon's Paradox. Being weirdly wise about other people's lives while being completely lost in your own. When it's someone else's problem, your brain goes into clear thinking mode, like watching a movie where you know exactly what the main character should do, but throw your own emotions in there, and suddenly you're that horror movie character running upstairs instead of out the front door. Scientists found that when we look at our own problems, emotions flood our brain like a tsunami. All that wisdom gets drowned out by fear, doubt, and anxiety. But there's a hack. Next time you're stuck on a personal problem, pretend you're giving advice to a friend. Write yourself a letter like you're writing to someone else. Turns out, the secret to solving your problems is pretending they belong to someone else. It's ridiculous, but it works. Number 6. Post-achievement letdown. You just achieved something huge. Maybe finished a marathon, got that degree, or landed that dream job. But instead of feeling on top of the world, you feel empty. Scientists call this post-achievement depression, and it's way more common than you'd think. Your brain's been pumping out dopamine and adrenaline during the chase. Then suddenly, the chase is over. Your brain's like, wait, what do we do now? It's like finishing the last episode of your favorite show. You're happy you watched it, but now there's this weird void. About 70% of athletes experience this after big competitions. Even Olympic medalists report feeling empty after standing on the podium. Think of it like a sugar crash, but for success. You've been running on excitement for so long, and suddenly there's nothing left to chase. This feeling doesn't mean you're ungrateful or broken. It just means your brain is that overachiever who can't sit still, already hunting for the next challenge. Number 5. Impostor Syndrome. Imagine nailing a job interview, getting the position, then sitting at your new desk thinking, I don't belong here. That's impostor syndrome, where your brain becomes your own personal gaslighter. The better you do, the worse it gets. You work super hard to prove yourself, succeed, then immediately think, I just got lucky, or they're going to find out I'm a fake. Scientists first spotted this in 1978, and about 70% of people will feel it at some point. That means in a room of 10 people, 7 of them are thinking, how did I end up here? While looking completely normal on the outside. Even Maya Angelou, after writing her 11th book, still thought, this time they're going to find out I'm a fraud. Neil Gaiman, one of the most successful authors ever, once sat at an event thinking, I'm a fraud. Why am I here? But here's the thing. If you're worried about being a fraud, you're probably not one. Real frauds don't worry about being frauds. They're too busy actually being frauds. Number 4. Counterfactual guilt. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, if only I had done things differently, even when nothing really went wrong? That's counterfactual guilt. Your brain's way of torturing you with alternate timelines that don't even exist. Like getting a B+ on a test and thinking, if only I studied one more hour, even though that extra hour probably wouldn't have changed anything. Scientists found this happens because our brains love playing the what-if game. It's like having an internal movie director who keeps shooting alternative endings to your day. The weird part is, bad drivers actually feel less of this guilt than good drivers. They're too busy blaming everything else. The weather, other drivers, the alignment of the stars. Meanwhile, responsible people torture themselves with what-ifs over tiny things, like replaying a conversation from 3 years ago at 3 a.m., thinking if only I hadn't made that awkward joke. If you're stuck in a what-if loop, congratulations. You're probably a decent person. The people who never question their choices, those are the ones you need to watch out for. Number 3. The beautiful mess effect. Ever felt like sharing your struggles would make people think less of you? Like admitting you're stressed, scared, or just not perfect would somehow make you look weak? Well, science says you've got it backwards. When others show their vulnerable side, we think they're brave and authentic. But when we do it ourselves, our brain goes, red alert, everyone will think you're weak. Scientists call this the beautiful mess effect. We judge our own vulnerability way harsher than we judge others. It's like how we think our friend's messy bun looks effortlessly cool, but our messy bun looks like we just lost a fight with a ceiling fan. Studies show that being vulnerable actually makes people trust you more. It's like putting down your emotional armor makes others feel safe enough to put down theirs too. The more put together you try to look, the less people connect with you. Because everyone knows life is messy, and pretending it isn't just makes you look fake. Here's the truth. What feels like a mess to you probably looks like courage to everyone else. You're not weak for being human. Number 2. Thought-action fusion. Random thought pops into your head that feels so wrong you immediately feel guilty, like suddenly thinking, what if I pushed this person while waiting for the train? Then feeling horrible even though you'd never actually do it. That's thought-action fusion, where your brain treats thinking something as bad as actually doing it. It's like your mind becomes that strict teacher who gives you detention just for thinking about pulling a prank. Scientists found this is super common in people with OCD. Their brains treat random thoughts like signed contracts. The weird part is the more you try not to think about something, the more your brain fixates on it. It's like telling yourself, don't think about pink elephants, and suddenly your mind is hosting an elephant parade. Studies show the average person has about 6,200 thoughts per day, many of them weird, random, or even disturbing. Having these thoughts doesn't make you bad. It's like getting spam mail. Just because it showed up in your inbox doesn't mean you asked for it. Number 1. Empathetic distress. Ever felt someone else's pain so deeply it starts feeling like your own? Like watching a friend cry and suddenly your eyes water too, even though nothing bad happened to you. That's empathetic distress, when your brain's empathy goes into overdrive. Scientists found we have these things called mirror neurons. They're like tiny copycats in your brain that light up when you see someone else feeling something. It's why you cringe when someone stubs their toe, or why you start crying during sad movies even though you know it's not real. Think of your mind like a sponge that soaks up other people's emotions, but just like a sponge, there's only so much it can hold before it starts overflowing. That's why nurses and animal shelter workers often seem numb over time. Their brains build emotional walls to stop drowning in other people's pain. It's like having an empathy meter that hits emergency shutdown to keep you sane. If you're feeling someone else's feelings too deeply, you're not defective. You're just running on maximum compassion mode, and that's actually beautiful, even if it hurts sometimes. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.